Well, thanks for staying with us. ABC 24 is all about keeping you safe. Now, I know we have all gotten those text messages that are those scams that you just don't want to click on because you don't know where it'll lead. Well, now those have surpassed the number of robocalls that there were in 2022. That's a lot of spam texts we're getting. So joining us this midday is Daniel Irwin from the BBB to talk about this issue. What a problem. Daniel, how are you?
I'm good. And yes, it's a horrible problem.
Yeah, so why are spam texts becoming such a big problem?
Well, in its early days, texting was primarily used for communication between friends, but its growing use for commercial purposes has made it an attractive way for scammers to not only steal your money, but your personal information. And it's because the small size of the phone screen just makes it harder to detect the altered URLs, the misspelled words, or any of the other red flags that usually will tell you it's a scam. And these spam texts may take people to what they think is a legitimate website, but it's really a lookalike website. And when they enter their username and password, they're going to get sideways really quickly because then that scammer has all that information. It's important to note that spam and scam aren't entirely synonymous, but unless you've given a company permission to send you commercial texts, they're illegal. So if the communication itself is illegal, the product will probably be a scam.
Yeah, Damien, think about that. So when we're talking about these spam texts, what is truly the scope of this issue?
Now, these numbers are absolutely crazy. RoboKiller, which markets an app to eliminate these calls and these texts, said that these texts exceeded robocalls in both 2021 and 2022. And listen to this, Americans received 91 billion with a B spam texts in 2021. In 2022, they received 147 billion spam texts. That's a 60% increase. The projected financial losses of these texts in 2022 are $28 billion. Now, to contrast that with the robocalls, Americans received 70 billion robocalls in 2021 and 86 billion robocalls in 2022. Common scams perpetrated via these texts and calls are phony offers for prizes and gift cards and those pesky fake delivery notifications that we all get, either from FedEx or Amazon or, pick the company. It's a scam.
Yeah, those are the ones that can really get you, especially if you're waiting for that package. But seeing those number differences between the two, robocalls and spam texts, that's just very stark when you put it up on that screen like that. So how can people protect themselves from becoming texting victims of these scams?
Well, number one, don't respond. But if you do, don't provide any personal or financial information, and certainly don't click on any links. And if you think a notice might be real, contact the sender through a phone number that you've gotten independently, like from the Better Business Bureau of the Mid-South. And make sure you're always reviewing your phone bill for unauthorized charges. When you start to see a lot of unauthorized charges on your phone bill, that would be a red flag that you might need to take some action.
Really important advice there because it is something that we have all dealt with, especially recently. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us this midday.
Have a great day.
You too.